Let's bring in Foundation for Defense of Democracy's research fellow, Behnam Ben Taleblu. Thank you for joining us, Behnam.
Good morning, Lauren. Great to be with you.
Should Donald Trump be taking a victory lap?
No, not yet. I think this is quite premature. I think the administration is rightly experiencing some bipartisan criticism here because Syria has actually been a bipartisan foreign policy failure for America since 2013.
Yeah, and a lot of that bipartisan criticism is coming from those supporters in his own party. Listen to Senator Lindsey Graham.
It is my belief, but we won't know until we'll ask the appropriate parties, that this decision by the president was against sound military advice. And I don't think General Trump is going to be any better than General Obama. I don't believe ISIS has been defeated. I believe they've been hurt.
If you can hold your thoughts on the General Obama part of that for a second, if we can talk about how strong ISIS is or is not. Right now, they're not wiped out. In fact, they still are getting funds, and they've essentially moved underground, is what a lot of people are saying. Are they weaker, or are they wiped out?
That's right. ISIS is weaker, but it's definitely nowhere near being wiped out. They've moved towards central Syria. Again, the problem is that ISIS is not the only beneficiary of this decision. It's other states that have been supporting the Assad regime, and that's chiefly Russia and Iran. And these are the biggest winners of this decision. And when the president has rightly been making the case against more pressure on Iran, and when you see sanctions on Russia today, you cannot be in a position where you are rewarding those two countries where you're engaged with strategic competition with them.
And do Russia and Iran and other adversaries view President Trump, who started out so strong on the world stage, retaliation against the use of Assad's chemical weapons in Syria, revoking the Iran nuclear deal, does this make them think that President Trump is weaker?
I think this definitely sends the wrong message, and absolutely at the wrong time. The president is engaged currently in a maximum pressure campaign to get more financial pressure against the Islamic of Iran. That max pressure campaign desperately needs a regional component. And at a time when the Iranians are bragging about sending ballistic missiles into Syria within 3 miles of U.S. forces, and 2 months later the U.S. simply says it's going to be pulling out troops, that sends the wrong message.
Wow, we heard Senator Lindsey Graham calling Barack Obama General Obama. The Wall Street Journal editorial board writing, this is an Obama-like signal of retreat with damaging consequences, because when President Obama did declare victory over the Sunni extremists and he pulled out of Iraq, ISIS formed in that vacuum. Can you explain the parallel for our viewers?
Sure. I think we should have learned our lesson in 2011. You don't want to be leaving strategic vacuums in the Middle East. Ungoverned spaces are a problem, but ungoverned spaces are an extra large problem when you have a regime allied with Russia and Iran that are looking to reconquer territory and again become a vassal of those two larger states that we have larger strategic competition with.
Behnam, so many more questions for you, so little time. We appreciate your perspective this morning.
My pleasure. Merry Christmas to you and Cheryl.